All throughout our lives, we have seen different kinds of animals around us. They may be small or big, light or heavy, or even domesticated or wild. Animals that exist today are vast. That is why scientists group them into categories for us to understand them fully. Hey City Buddies! It's Reine! Come join me in our lesson for today as we explore the part 2 of the types of animals. Types of animals. In the previous video, we learned that animals are living organisms that need food and water to live. We also learned that there are 6 types of animals. These are mammals, birds, fish, reptiles, amphibians, and invertebrates. What are birds? Birds are warm-blooded vertebrates that are the only animals that have feathers. There are 2 types of birds, flying birds and flightless birds. Flying birds. They have a large breastbone, which is called a sternum, that is used for flight muscle attachment. Here are some of the examples. American robin. Ever heard about the birds singing beautiful songs during springtime? Well, one of the species of songbirds seen during spring season is the American robin, which lives across North America and some parts of Central America. American robins are easy to spot because they have black heads having white outlines around their eyes, yellow beaks, brown backs, and orange or reddish bellies. What's more interesting about American robins is that the color of their eggs are blue. Yup, you heard that right. It is not the typical white color but blue. And why is that so? The answer is that the female American robins produce bile pigments called biliverdin, which is the one responsible for producing blue tones in bird eggs. And the unusual colored eggs are not just for aesthetic, because its main purpose is to help protect offsprings from potentially harmful UV radiation and provides the right temperature for baby bird incubation. Bluebirds. Talking about the color blue, the next example is the bluebird. Bluebirds have 3 species, namely the eastern bluebirds, which are seen in Canada, Mexico, and Honduras. The next species is the western bluebirds, that lives in the west of the Rocky Mountains from Canada to Mexico. And the last one are the mountain bluebirds, which are found in western North America. The 3 different species have slightly different plumage, but similar body shapes. Their bodies are rather round and stocky, and they have short, pointed bills. Eastern bluebirds have blue heads, backs, and wings, light orange chests, and white undersides. Westerns are similar to Easterns, but have darker orange and gray undersides. Mountain bluebirds have blue plumage on their heads and backs, and light blue plumage on their chests. Fun fact! Did you know that eastern bluebirds have exceptional visions? They can search for tiny bugs to feed on from up to 60 feet away. Cuckoo. Have you seen wooden clocks that have birds that pop out whenever another hour strikes? If you haven't, then did you know that the birds coming out of clocks are called cuckoos? Yes, cuckoos are medium-sized birds that are well known for their artistic representation in wooden clocks wherein they popped out to inform us of the time. They are located in Africa, Asia, Australia, Europe, and Middle East. What is even more fascinating about cuckoos is that you can distinguish it if it is a male or female simply by looking at the color of their feathers. Male cuckoos have white bellies that are intersected with dark lines, and their upper parts are bluish to gray in color. On the other hand, female cuckoos are either reddish-brown in color or they are completely covered with dark bars. Did you know that cuckoos are considered as even jerks of nature? They are considered as brood parasites because of their unusual nesting habits. While typical nesting mother birds would dedicate their whole time in feeding and looking over their hatchlings, female cuckoos are lazy birds and will probably receive the Worst Parents Award in the bird world. In fact, they don't even build their own nests. So, how do their offspring survive if they cannot even count on their mothers to tend to their needs? Easy, because female cuckoos do not want to take the responsibility as mother birds. They will look for host species whose eggs look similar to hers. And after she has blended her egg with the other hatchlings, then that is when her evil plan happens. Why is this so? Because she will then knock out one of the eggs from the nest and replace it with hers. And once the cuckoo egg hatch, it is as if they are naturally programmed to become wicked birds, because the newly hatched cuckoo will then proceed to knock out the host eggs or push them out, so that the parent birds will only feed it and not their true hatchlings. Dove. After talking about the brood parasites of nature, let us then lighten the atmosphere by discussing the symbolism of peace, which is the dove. Doves have relatively stout bodies, having similar shapes with short legs and beaks, but their plumage varies from species to species. Some of the doves are white in color, while others vary in different patterns and colors, because their coloration varies in the amount of brightness in their habitat. Dove species inhabit Africa, Australia, Eurasia, as well as North, Central, and South America. Despite being hundreds or thousands of kilometers away, doves can find their way home. This ability is unrivaled in the animal kingdom. They are excellent navigators and they use both the magnetic field of the Earth and the position of the Sun to find their destination. But that's not it. Doves are also one of the bird species that can produce their own milk. It is called as crop milk, which is high in fat and protein. Birds produce crop milk from their beaks. However, crop milk lacks calcium and carbohydrates, unlike mammals' milk, which are rich in these substances. Eagle. Now let us move on to another magnificent bird species. Eagles are birds of prey that are found in Africa, Eurasia, Australia, North, Central, and South America. In addition, they are typically located on top of the food chain. Eagles have strong muscular legs, powerful talons, and large hooked beaks, which enables them to rip the flesh from their prey. Eagles have exceptional sense of sight. Their eyes are large enough that can take up almost 50% of their heads. When compared to the human eye, an eagle's vision is 4 to 5 times better, because the retinas have 1 million cones per square millimeter, unlike humans, which only have 200,000 cones per square millimeter. Flamingo. Let us explore the most recognizable wading birds in the world, which are flamingos. They are found in Caribbean, South America, Africa, Middle East, and Europe. Male and female flamingos look alike, although males are bigger in size. They both have large hooked bills, elongated necks, pink feathers, long pink legs, and webbed feet with 3 toes. Just like doves, flamingos also nourish their young with crop milk for about 5 to 12 days after hatching until they are able to feed on their own. Why are flamingos color pink? Typically, flamingo chicks are born gray or white, and it takes them up to 3 years to achieve color pink, orange, or red feathers. The color pink pigmentation in their feathers is the result of eating a specialized diet, which includes feeding on shrimps, planktons, algae, and crustaceans. Hummingbird. A creature that is as small as your thumb is the 7th bird in the list of the flying birds. Hummingbirds, also known as hummers, are considered as the smallest migrating birds. Overall, we have approximately 340 species of hummingbirds. that are found in southern Alaska, South America, and Mexican border. They have stubby streamlined body that is covered in iridescent feathers, needle-like bill, and agile tongue. The hummingbird's wings are long, narrow, and tapered to give it a better agility in the air. But despite these lengthy features, the legs and feet of hummingbirds are very tiny and short that they can even use it for walking. Did you know that hummingbirds are the only birds that can fly backwards? Yup, their wings are very close to their bodies and both have unique ball and socket joints at the shoulders, allowing them to tilt, pivot, and rotate it in all directions for 180 degrees. Despite having this great ability, hummingbirds lack the sense of smell but have a good color vision, and they prefer to feed on orange or red flowers. Parrot. Moving on, we have parrots, which are capable of imitating non-avian sounds, including human speech. These intelligent, charismatic, and colorful birds are found in Australia, Central and South America, and they are usually kept as pets, for they provide good companionship and entertainment. Parrots have curved beaks, colorful feathers, and they have 4 toes on each foot. That is why they are called zygodactyl, wherein 2 of these toes are pointing forward while the remaining 2 are projecting backwards. Did you know that out of all the creatures on Earth, only 2 are able to produce human language? Obviously, the first one are humans, while the second one are birds. And some of the few birds that can imitate human speech includes parrots, mynah-birds, crows, and ravens. Pelican. The next type of flying bird is the pelican, which is known for its flexible throat pouch called gular pouch, which come really handy whenever it wants to catch multiple fishes at once. Pelicans are large aquatic birds having short webbed feet, which helps them swim well in the water. There are a total of 8 different species, wherein majority have white or cream-colored feathers with black or brown accents, while 2 of its species, namely Peruvian pelican and brown pelican, have brown-colored feathers. Pelicans can be found on all continents except Antarctica. They are usually located in warm regions. Although pelicans have nasal openings, it is sealed off in all 8 species. That is why they breathe through their mouths. But their nostrils have other use because it houses special glands which remove excess salt from the bloodstream. That are a big lifesaver, especially because they ingest seawater to survive. And woodpecker. One of the most interesting types of birds are the woodpeckers, which are well known for their ability to peck on trees. That is completely painless and harmless to them because of the special air pockets in their skulls that spreads the impact force, preventing their brains from experiencing traumas caused by repeated impacts and jostling. There are over 200 species of woodpeckers around the world, except in Australia, Madagascar, and New Zealand. Woodpeckers have tough, pointed beaks, and the tip of their bill are chisel-shaped and sharp. Their tongues can span up to 4 inches long that is covered in a glue-like substance, which helps in extracting insects. They also have zygodactyl feet similar to parrots, and to keep them from inhaling particles from the wood, they have stiffened feathers over their nostrils. Well, if we talk about the feathers of the woodpeckers, they all have black, white, red, and yellow all over their bodies, and only a few species have brown, green, gold, maroon, and orange in their coloration. Did you know that woodpeckers are able to peck 20 times per second? And overall, they can produce between 10,000 to 12,000 pecks per day. Sadly, despite being able to peck at an incredible speed, woodpeckers do not have vocal songs, although they can make chirps, chatters, and alarm calls. Their way of communication is through drumming on resonant objects such as hollow trees, logs, chimneys, rain gutters, metal roofing, etc. Flightless birds. These are birds that cannot fly. They have smaller wing bones but have more feathers than flying birds. Here are some of the examples. Cassowary. At present, there are about 3 species of cassowaries, 2 of which lives in the rainforests of Papua New Guinea and nearby islands, while the southern cassowaries, which is the largest among the 3 species, are located in the tropics of northern Queensland. Cassowaries have large brown eyes, long curved beaks, elongated necks, where you can find wattles, which are a couple of long folds of colorful skin. They are also covered in glossy black feathers, scaly legs with 3 toes on each foot, wherein the inside of their feet have evolved into formidable spikes. Furthermore, their wings are so tiny that it can be difficult to notice in their large built bodies. But don't get fooled with these somewhat underdog qualities, because cassowaries are considered as the most dangerous birds in the world. Because of the 4 inches long dagger-like claws inside their toes, they can slice open any potential threat with one single swift kick. Emu. The second largest flightless birds are emus, which are all over Australia, but they can also be located in Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, Philippines, and Solomon Islands. These giant birds have an incredible speed and they can reach up to 48 kilometers per hour. Plus, they are good swimmers. An emu is gray or brown in color, while their head and neck are covered in blue or black coloration. They also have small wings and powerful legs, having 3 toes on their feet. Emus can produce booming, drumming, and grunting sounds in their inflatable neck sacs that can be heard for up to 2 kilometers away. Did you know that the eggs of emus look like large avocados? Because of its shiny dark green color with small pits on the surface, it really resembles an avocado. Aside from that, a single egg is equivalent to the weight and volume of up to 10 to 12 chicken eggs. Kakapo. Now, let us move on to the nocturnal flightless birds that are all over New Zealand. Kakapos are also known as owl parrots or night parrots because of their pale owl-like faces and nocturnal habits. They are large in size, having moss green mottled feathers with yellow and black in the upper parts of their bodies, and their bills, legs, and feet are gray in color. Fun fact: kakapos are the world's only flightless parrots. Despite not being able to fly, their strong legs help them climb tall trees, and they make use of their wings as parachute to help them go down. Kiwi. The next species in the list are kiwis that are found in New Zealand. They got their name kiwi from the sound that they make as a form of communication, which is a series of kiwi-kiwi sounds. A kiwi's body is pear-shaped with a long beak and legs, and they are covered in thin, hair-like feathers that are commonly mistaken as fur. Just like kakapos, most kiwis are nocturnal birds, meaning they sleep during the day and are active during the night. In addition, kiwis are the only birds in the world that have nostrils at the end of their beak, which enables them to sniff out food beneath the soil. Did you know that kiwis are commonly referred as honorary mammals? Because even though it is a bird, it has certain characteristics of a mammal. Just like how their bones are filled with marrows, similar to human beings, and they can run as fast as humans do. Aside from that, they also have whiskers similar to cats. And female kiwis also have 2 ovaries, unlike most birds who only have 1. On the contrary, in terms of their response when predators are near, kiwis often freeze in place. This technique often works when eagles are their predators, for they hunt by sight. So, if they don't see any movement on the ground, they will not pursue kiwis as their prey. But when it comes to mammal predators, the freezing in place tactic does not work, because mammals often hunt using their sense of smell, and kiwis are known for having a strong scent that will really attract predators. Ostrich, the world's largest and heaviest living bird, having a brain the size of a peanut, is an ostrich. Ostriches roam around Africa and are found in the savanna and desert regions. The feathers of an ostrich don't hook together and are loose, soft, and smooth, making it appear to be shaggy. Male ostriches are color black and white, while females are grayish-brown in color. They have prominent eyes, long lashes, elongated necks, and long legs, each having 2 toes with sharp claws. Instead of flying, ostriches are built for running, and they can cover up to 43 miles per hour. They can also grow up to 9 feet tall. Did you know that ostriches have the largest eyes out of all the land animals? An eye of an ostrich measures 2 inches across, which is about the size of a billiard ball. Have you ever heard of the popular myth that when threatened, ostriches bury their heads in sand? Well, it is a false theory, because when ostriches are unable to run away when they sense danger, they flop and put their head and necks flat on the ground in front of their bodies in order to camouflage it to the ground. And from a distance, it may appear that ostriches have buried their heads on the ground, leaving their bodies visible in plain sight. Penguin. What could be more interesting than knowing birds that swim, right? Well, our next flightless bird is the expert swimmer in the birds community. Penguins are creatures that lives in southern hemisphere or below the equator. There are about 19 different species of penguins all throughout Argentina, Australia, Chile, New Zealand, and South Africa, which have the distinct black bodies and white bellies that come quite handy when they need to hide from predators. While typical bird species have wings, penguins are gifted with flippers, making them the best divers, reaching up to 15 miles per hour. The physical characteristics of a penguin also include having large head, short neck and tail, an elongated body, and webbed feet. Fun fact! Did you know that penguins can drink salt water? Yup, because they live in places that don't offer fresh water. They have adapted to drinking water in the ocean, but it is completely harmless to them. Why? Because they have supraorbital gland located near their eyes that filters salt out of their systems. What's more amazing about penguins are they can even eat snow as a source of water. Rail. Moving on, we have rails. There are about 127 species of rails all over the world except in high latitudes. They are somewhat chicken in shape but are slender and are about 4 to 18 inches in length. Rails are dull in color and are also barred with irregular patterns. They have scarlet eyes, a black bill, and similar to all flightless birds, their wings are nearly useless. Did you know that rails are secretive birds? Because they live in dense vegetations, such as overgrown pools and reeds, scientists find it extremely difficult to study their behaviors. Rhea. There are 2 species of Rheas, namely American Rhea, also known as the common Rhea, are found from northeastern Brazil southward to Argentina, and the Darwin's Rhea, which lives in Peru, southward to Patagonia. We can compare Rheas to ostriches, but they are smaller in size and are commonly only 4 feet tall. And they also have 3-toed feet, unlike an ostrich who only has 2 toes on each foot. Rheas are also brownish in color, and just like most flightless birds, they evade their predators by running. Fun fact: male Rheas are polygamous, which means they have multiple mates, and they are the ones responsible in laying the eggs and raising their young instead of female Rheas. Surprisingly, female Rheas can lay up to 50 eggs, and chicks hatch in about 6 weeks. Takahe. Takahes have deep blue color on their head, neck, and under parts, while olive green on their back and wings, and they have an undertail that is white in color. They have huge conical bright red bills that extends on their foreheads as a red frontal shield. Plus, their stout legs are also red in color. They inhabit grasslands and live all over the world except Antarctica. Takahes are also the largest living rails in the world. Did you know that Takahes will only lay about 1 to 3 eggs with an incubation period of 30 days? But on average, out of 3 eggs laid by female Takahes, only 1 chick will survive to adulthood. And weka. Wekas are one of New Zealand's iconic mischievous birds, known to be attracted to human activities. But they often steal foods brought by humans during their encounter. While, if they live near residential areas, they will probably raid vegetable gardens, poultry food, and even dog food. In terms of their physical characteristics, wekas are hen-sized birds having beady red eyes, strong tapered beaks, caramel and black striped feathers, and sturdy dinosaur-like legs. Did you know that a weka can poop their body weight in a day? They weigh about 900 grams, so that is definitely a lot of poop. That is why you should never corner a weka inside if you don't want to smell the stench of their poops. That's it for the part 2 of the types of animals. See you soon, study buddies. Bye! What's your favorite bird? Comment it below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you want to watch more of our videos, click here.